Hello everybody, hello and welcome to the grand opening of our newly upgraded CFD simulator. Now no expense has been spared to make sure that our CFD simulation is the finest in Formula 1, the finest. In fact, our simulation of CFD, it may well cure cancer, it's that good. Of course I know what it does. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. It is the Baku Sprint Weekend today, and after a magnificent 1-2, I've just recovered from that I think, in Melbourne. Last time out, we are sitting only 3 points back of Mercedes for second in the Constructors. We are 4th and 5th in the Drivers, and, well, pit stops, we don't worry about those because we know we're rubbish at them. Now, we've taken some steps off the track to move things forward. Now, in this thing here, what's it called? Facilities. The CFD simulator, we've upgraded it to a level 4 simulator now, so that is great. CFD, oh, that's what it stands for. Whatever that word is, fluid dynamics. No idea. It's to simulate airflow over aerodynamics. So it's the aero. I mean, that seems like something that's worthwhile doing, doesn't it? So that can only help us with developing parts for the cars, the front and rear wing, side pods. Most parts, actually, wouldn't it? Now, the suspension simulator needs something done to it, but what we have done instead, we're refurbishing the design center, which needed some work done, but we are upgrading the factory. Now, this is all very, very expensive stuff, but we're going to have a level 4 factory, and that will enable us to do 5 projects at once, and things will happen a bit quicker. So that's all obviously good news. So yeah, that is all happening, and a couple of things here are getting refurbished as well. Heliport, weather center, and the boardroom. So yeah, that is that. Now unfortunately, we had a bit of a shutdown of the factory for a sponsorship, something or other. So we don't actually have, I thought we were going to have a new front wing and new suspension. But oh wait, we do have new suspension. So that's good. We'll stick that on both cars and hope they don't damage it early on. Maybe we'll just stick it on Mick's car just in case. But yeah, so that is all good news on that front. And yeah, we came first and second in the last race. So a sprint weekend. We don't want to waste too much time here. Focus, Aussie Villain. So we are not expecting any rain. We are expecting, let's have a look here, circuit map. So for qualifying, red is sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. It's an old-fashioned sort of American-style street course. Lots of 90-degree corners and long straights. Top speed and low speed cornering are what is crucial. We can see their pit stops, not a major loss. Now we know historically from this track, a soft tyre at the end can be absolutely magnificent for you. So we'll have to see how we go on that. A medium tyre is probably going to get you there in the sprint race, isn't it? So we'll see. Yeah, we'll just have to I'll need to have a think about what I should do is make notes of what I've done previous races for strategies, and yeah, see how we go. Now, last year, of course, Mick missed out on winning the race by that much from George Russell. It was very, very close, wasn't it, at the end there? So let's hope we can go a little bit better here. And by a little bit better, I literally mean like a tenth of a second will do. And, well, let's head off to Baku and the sprint race. Oh, wait, no, we've got to do our performance targets first. Reach Q2, I would definitely like to hope so. And final position, we won't promise fastest lap because I always feel like it's dependent on so many things. And qualifying, we need 1 in the top 6 for 2 races, and same thing with the race, and we'll get some bonus money, which would be very welcome. Alright, so we've got 1 practice session, cloudy all weekend but no rain. I'm going to go do that and then I'll see you for qualifying. Alright, so we've done our free practice session. We just get the one. There is a second free practice. If you're wondering why I never say anything about it, I don't send the cars out. So, or if I do, it's just to get rid of the specific set of tyres I want to get rid of. So that's why we're not actually doing any meaningful running. Now, we did the whole session on 1 set of hard tyres. We were 13th and 14th. Now, I don't actually know how close we got to our setup. We're going to find out together here in a second. So we were... braking stability is not where he wants that to be. Now we can take a stab in the dark here and try and I mean we're literally guessing, which is never great. So we'll do that. I never like having it the whole way in one direction. So let's try that and hope that it works for Gio. Before 25, we were struggling a little bit to get a setup, as you can see there. So that is Gio. We will need to put in the better engine parts. Anyway, long story short, I'll probably see you for Q1 because it's always close and you never know if you're going to get out or not. So we did it. We got out of a session without having any issues. We did have to send Mick back out for a second run on the same set of tyres. He got blocked by Leclerc, I think it was, on his first run. So not really any danger, just, you know, it happens, and he had to go out again. But yeah, easy does it. Let's go to Q2. All right, we have sent both cars out. Giovinazzi's in third, probably didn't need to come back out, but I did send him out. I was hoping we'd be able to use him to tow Mick around, who's in a little bit of trouble. I think he might have got blocked, because Magnussen was behind him and they both did bad laps, you know, by their standards, or what you'd expect from them anyway. So I think they perhaps got blocked, because it's weird that they both did bad laps when they were sort of right behind each other. So yeah, Mick needs to go faster. Magnussen did, but not fast enough. So that concerns me a little bit, that maybe they're just both not quite quick enough. But Giovinazzi, we could have saved this set of tyres, it looks like. We might even just call him in, because he doesn't need to finish the lap. He's going to get through quite comfortably. And Mick has gone green. Can he find himself away into this top 10? It is a sprint weekend, so it's not the end of the world if he doesn't, but I think that was Giovinazzi we just passed. Can we get it done? Go on, Mickey. He has gone 5th. Absolutely fine. Never in doubt, was it? So there we go, tied at the top of the standings. You don't get that very often, do you? Now, that penalty for Verstappen is for the crash in Melbourne. He retired from that, so he didn't get a chance to serve it. So that's what that's for. But let's go to Q3 now, see where we're going to start the sprint. All right, well, I'm not sure what happened on that first run, but Giovinazzi is 10th, and Mick is 4th, albeit almost a second off of Verstappen. So, yeah, not ideal. I mean, it was used tyres, but only one lap. That shouldn't explain that much, surely. But anyway, let's see what we can do with the fresh set on. We have no one in front of us. We're the last two cars on track as well. So, green for Gio. We're on board with Gio. Mick is behind us. He has only gone yellow, so he's not done a better first sector. Now, given that he's 5th, it's maybe not the end of the world, but we'd certainly like to think he could get on the front row here, wouldn't we? Let's see what Giovinazzi does. Second sector's somewhere down this hill. And there it is there. So he's going faster. Oh, you'd hope so. In 10th, almost a second and a half off the pace. Mick, though, is not. Mick is a concern here. I did put a new set of tyres on, didn't I? I'm sure I did. Anyway, Giovinazzi, what's he going to do? He goes 5th. Mick will come across the line and he will stay 6th. Does Stroll bump us back at all is probably the only question, but no, he's cruising. So that's where we're going to start, less Verstappen's penalty. Now, Verstappen's penalty, of course, will only affect the actual race, not the sprint. So we'll start the sprint from 5th and 6th. And, yeah, we'll see if we can move forward from there. All right, so here we go. We're on a soft tyre with both cars. A soft tyre gets you there quite easily. You could push almost flat out. I would be shocked if anybody wasn't on a soft tyre, to be honest. There's quite a zone hard. Yeah, so I don't suspect anybody's going to lose out on a soft tyre. You can, as I said, pretty much go as hard as you want. And was Norris ahead of us at the start? We were 5th and 6th. He must have been. I didn't realise he qualified that well up. So yeah, I mean, this is just very much a case of don't go backwards, and points for the top 8. So if we can pick up some points, then that's going to be very welcome as well. You can see, I mean, this is on sort of the orange push, and it gets us there relatively comfortably. So we can do a hardcore push for a couple of laps, and then we'll back off the tyres a little bit. But, you know, you can pretty much push as hard as you want for the entire race, which is good in a way if your car's good. Let's hope that that it is. And DRS enabled after a lap. Where's Norris going? Thank you very much. That sort of parted the seas a little bit for us, didn't it? Can Giovinazzi go and get Russell as well? I tell you what, he might get him up the inside here. And Giovinazzi going on an early race tear here. Go on, Gio. We will now we've gone into the red temperatures, just back ourselves off a little bit here. Try, and if Gio can stay with DRS, maybe we'll risk a lot here and see if we can go with these front two. We've got Russell annoying us up the inside, do we? So that is going to be that. Mick needs to try and get past Lando if he can. I don't think Lando has DRS here, does he? So it should be fairly comfortable into turn 1, I would have hoped. No, the McLaren's got a bit of pace behind it by the looks of things. So, yeah, well, just fingers crossed no one goes backward and sticks it in a wall. That'll do us, won't it? Go on. No. Oh, and that's just what we didn't want, Mick. And he's out. Is that going to be his fault, or is that going to be Lando's fault? I mean, we were on board, weren't we? It looked to me like Lando turned down on him.
Okay.
I mean, it's a disaster in that he's going to be starting from the back, so I guess it doesn't matter if he gets a penalty, because he's going to be starting from the back anyway.
That's positive. Copy.
And it's a safety car.
Yeah, same as a formation lap procedure.
And Norris does get the penalty.
Yeah.
So that is just rotten luck. Absolute rotten luck for me. Alright, so safety car is ending. I mean, Mick's gone from winning a race to starting last. I mean, he'll start in front of Norris, because Norris has got the penalty. But, yeah, what an unfortunate thing to happen to him. Anyway, let's hope that Gio can maybe move himself forward here a little bit. And, I mean, it doesn't help us in our battle with Mercedes, does it? Having both of their cars at the front and one of ours taken out. But, anyway, we'll get creative on strategy with Mick and try and move him forward. In a way, it can be more fun for the race, can't it? Because we'll have to... Whether we make I think what we might do with him is try and make an extra stop and be on soft tyres at the end. We know that that's really effective. And maybe do like a soft, medium, soft or something along those lines, and just push him the whole race and see what he can do. Now, if we can stay within DRS, one thing we can do now is we can essentially push flat out the entire way. We need to stay within DRS. The DRS will open up at the end of this lap, and then there is a detection point into turn 2, so we'll get it down the back straight if we're there. We should be. So we will not deploy right now. Maybe we should have, because we might have got him actually if we kept deploying there. But anyway, Giovinazzi's where he needs to be in that front battle, and let's hope he can stay there for the team's sake, if nothing else. Alright, now I don't think that Russell's going to have DRS here, so this is a good opportunity for us to get him. And that moves up to third. Come on, Gio. Come on, Gio. Don't run up the back of him. Alright, let's deploy down this back straight and just make sure we get it done. Come on, mate. Come on. He's gone defensive. That should be fairly comfortable. We'll go off of the ERS now. Actually, no, maybe we should stay on the ERS, try and get in DRS to the front too. If we could do that, that would help us massively, wouldn't it? Let's go full attack. We are just about inside. Just about inside. Come on. Come on. And there we go. That should be that. So we'll go off of the ERS now, try and save as much as possible. And we haven't quite broken free of Russell yet, but we do have DRS, don't we? Where is it? Here somewhere, isn't it? There it is there. Yeah, so we've got DRS. We've latched onto the front too. We've done fastest lap of the race. There's no point for that in the sprint, of course. But, well, I'll be looking at a second pole position VSC. What's happened there, I wonder?
It's a fairly heavy accident. Could be a lot of debris here.
What has happened here? Do we see anybody going backwards?
Yes,
Bottas has crashed, so that doesn't really affect us too badly. Alright, virtual safety car is ending. Now, there will be instant DRS because it's virtual safety car. It keeps the gaps. So we are right on the back of Verstappen, who of course has a grid penalty as well. And he didn't get the greatest restart there either. So we will deploy down the back straight again. We wonder if maybe there's a bit of a disadvantage there for the Red Bulls. Verstappen going to go defensive like Russell did. He did. But he has DRS, unfortunately, and it's going to try and get Sainz. And we'll happily get involved in this. Just not in their accident, please. But Russell's dropped off 2 seconds behind us now. So we're definitely in it's a front 3. With Verstappen's penalty, we're looking at a front row start. But a sprint win would be a very nice little cherry on top of a front row start, wouldn't it? Alright, so we have 2 laps to go, and have we just accidentally overtaken Carlos Sainz there? And if that's the case, we'll go and get Max and we'll just sprint for the finish line, I think, here. That's obviously DRS assisted, that overtakes, so that's a little bit like taking candy from a baby, but I wasn't expecting us to lunge down the outside of Sainz into turn 1. And yeah, well, with 2 laps to go, let's see if we can, as I say, sprint clear, break DRS, and back up a 1-2 in Melbourne with a sprint victory in Baku. Are we going to break the DRS? We may have just done that, which is very, very nice. Now, unfortunately, we're out of battery, so that could be a problem. We've got a nice little gap there, though, and we've already passed the DRS detection point, I believe. Well, no, we haven't. We have now, but we were clear of it. So they haven't got DRS, and they may have DRS down this back straight, which we'll need to be a little bit careful of. We're on the last lap. Let's deploy a little bit out of here. Just make sure that that gap doesn't close down too much. That's all good. And I think Giovinazzi, if he keeps things out of the wall, is going to win the Baku Sprint. Verstappen is still half a second back. Let's go off board here. And oh, he's a little bit closer than I'd like, I've got to say. Come on, Gio. Come on. Now, it's all going to come down to the run onto the back straight. We don't have much battery, so we might be vulnerable. Oh, he's very close, isn't he? Come on, Gio. No wheel spin. Nail that exit. And this is going to be so, so close. It's going to be so, so close. He's going to have DRS. I think he's going to get us. I think he's going to get us. Oh, Gio, suck in, mate. Suck in. We've got it. Oh, by a tenth of a second. Tenth and a half. Gio wins the sprint. What a race. Such a shame for Mick. Now, of course, the question is how bad is the damage to Mick's car, I suppose. Well, let's enjoy a sprint win first. So it'll be back-to-back poles as well. Perez ended up nailing fastest lap, but like I say, there's no points for it, so it doesn't really matter. And, well, 8 points in the bank as well. All right, now, this is the big question, isn't it? Okay, so the engine, ERS, and gearbox they've not escaped too badly. So we need a new chassis, so they're expensive, take a long time to build too. We need a new front wing, so we've only got one for the race, which is slightly concerning, but I'm not going to build any, ideally, because there's another one that's coming. And suspension. Can we whack the new suspension on his car? Oh, we had the new suspension on his car, didn't we? And he crashed it, so that's fine, it's the same one. So that's not the end of the world. That could have been a lot worse, I think. Yeah, I mean, he has taken life off his engine and gearbox and all that kind of stuff, but it could have been a lot worse. Now, for Gio, can a soft medium I mean, that can do it quite comfortably. So if you push on a soft, come in and stick on a medium, and hope that you've got a big enough gap from the nice push at the start. I think that's what we'll do for him. Now, Mick. Here's the thing with Mick is that he's got to get overtakes done, doesn't he? So I think we want to be pushing as hard as we can. We want to be on the soft tires for as long as we can, and he just needs to get overtakes done. He's coming from essentially last. Yeah, we're pretty much bookending the field here, aren't we? All right, let's see what we can do in Baku. All right, welcome back. It's a long way back for Mick, but I don't know. In a way, I like those sort of races more, where you need the recovery drive. What we need from Gio here is just a controlling performance from out in front, don't we? He needs to just put his head down and go, and not hit anybody or anything. And then Mick, well, he's already up to 18th. He just needs to make quick work of as many people as possible. Now, Verstappen is back there in 5th. Make that 6th. Mick is flying through the field already. Now, there's a part of me that thinks maybe we take it off of the battery, because he's going to be quicker than these cars anyway. He's not going to need the battery to overtake them. So if we save that, and then when we've got DRS and there might be DRS trains involved, then we can yeah, then we can use our battery to sort of help break that up a little bit. But yeah, Gio, yeah, we're going to push him really hard on the soft, aren't we? Try and break the DRS if we can. And yeah, Mick, what sort of tires is everybody else on here? So yeah, Mick needs to get these medium tyre cars out of the way as quickly as possible, and then see where he goes. Giovinazzi, with a few medium tyre cars behind him, is half a chance of actually being able to sprint clear here. We've already almost dropped Russell out of the DRS. If we could get Sainz out of there as well, then that would be happy days, wouldn't it? All right, we need to get Paul Chair out of the way here. Bit of a brake test there, wasn't it, Mr. Stewards? So that should be fairly comfortable. He's not going to have, well, there's no DRS this lap anyway. And yeah, we should have him fairly comfortably, and then hopefully we can go and close up that gap in front and keep going forward. We can sort of take advantage of that. We've got a yellow flag. Mick's got damage, and it's a front wing.
Are you okay?
And it's going to be one of those days, isn't it, for Mick? I missed what's happened there. It looks like we don't even get a virtual safety car to try and lessen the damage. If it's major damage, then we've got to come in. We stick on a medium. I mean, it's an argument to say stick on a hard and see how far we can go. Yeah, we put on a medium now, and it's just not going to be his day, is it? It's just not going to be. At least if we'd got a virtual safety car, it would have lessened the damage of the stop. But yeah, it's a long way back for Mick from there, and yeah, it looks like it's all on Giovinazzi for this one. Alright, now we are in Giovinazzi's pit window. We are trying to take the tyres as far as we can, because it'll help, obviously, with fresher mediums. Now, the cars behind us are all on mediums themselves, so they're not going to, you know, they're not going to be directly coming in sort of in our window. Now, they have been on a very, very big push the last few laps. It looks like that push is going to come to an end, though, and hopefully we'll start to eke that gap. It was out to about 5 seconds. So if we look at this, what I'm to do here to leader now, it was about 20-second loss in the pit, so we should come out, even now, if we were to stop now, we come out in 11th, which is obviously fine. And we are a second faster than K-Mag, who is 10th, and that was only, what, another 2-3 seconds that we need, and we'll be another 2 or 3 laps anyway. So Giovinazzi is putting in a very, very good stint. Now, he's obviously coming in earlier. He's going to have worse tyres at the end. But even when he comes in, even though he's not going to be pushing as hard, he should still have have quicker tyres than the cars that are on old mediums. So yeah, let's see how that plan shakes out. Mick is, I mean, he's got damaged suspension and a chassis as well, so he's in a little bit of a state, but he's still doing 48.5s, which is competitive. So again, we'll see how far, and that's saving a bit of fuel here as well. So we'll see how far we can take him back up. Yeah, he's 9 seconds off the back of the field, and even then, Maloney's 8 seconds off the back of the field. So yeah, there's a part of me that thinks, do we just bring him in and save the engine mileage? But he's already knackered the engine anyway, so it's probably not going to make that much of a difference. But yeah, let's see. We're all Team Gio today. Let's hope he can continue this fairly strong performance, it has to be said. Alright, we are on Giovinazzi's in-lap. He's sort of stopped pulling away. He actually did a better lap that lap, but he was sort of matching the pace of K-Mag. He did a second quicker there. So I'm hoping we're going to come out ahead of K-Mag. I don't think we will. I think we'll actually come out ahead of Guan Yu Zhou, and that's assuming that we do a good stop. So yeah, let's see how we go there. Mick is, we used up a bit of his battery to try and just close in a little bit quicker. So he's done that, but he's still 5 seconds behind, and yeah, we don't really know what we're going to do with Mick this race. It just all went wrong for him in the sprint, didn't it? And it wasn't even his fault. So that's it ruined both their races, really, didn't it? So yeah, unfortunately for Mick, he's just the victim of that. But here we go. Let's get the harvest on, see if we can harvest coming into the pits a little bit, and fingers crossed for a good Ferrari stop. 2.8, that's as fast as we've been in a long, long time. And do we come out ahead of K-Mag? And no, we're almost. Now, did we get DRS here? I don't know that we do. So we'll go neutral. We do not want to be pushing our tyres that hard. You can see we've got a little bit of extra now, don't we, on the tyre life, so that's good. And hopefully we won't be stuck here for too long. And we'll keep an eye on our lap times compared to Science. And if we can come out in the lead, we just need to try and keep him out of DRS then, don't we? But there's going to be a few soft tyre runners coming in shortly, I would imagine. And we just need to make sure that we are not getting held up by traffic, I think is as important as anything. As K-Mag may have just ducked out of DRS, which is annoying, but that's probably down to cold tyres. So we need to bring them in slowly, I think, so that we don't eat them. Oh no, we are in DRS range. Because we don't want to eat the tyres too quickly, of course. But anyway, that's that. Mick is he's almost seeing other cars. Well done, Mick. And then we'll see what we're going to do with him in a second, whether we go to another medium or 2 sets of softs. Yeah, we just need to get him. If we can get him a point, he's had a good race, really, hasn't he, given everything that's happening? So, yeah, here we go. Now, this is a little bit of action for us. Now, let's try and harvest, because we'll be quicker anyway. And if we can get a bit of extra battery to get us down the straight that little bit quicker, that would be nice. Let's just go neutral for this lap, because it's going to be a DRS train, isn't it? So, yeah, this could be the problem we have trying to come through the field. But, yeah, Tsunoda, Gasly, Magnussen, 3-car train that ideally we don't have to deal with for too long. Let's have a proper crack at trying to break this. And are we going to get K-Mag at least? Oh, it's iffy. We have got him. We'll stay with this because we need to get these guys quickly. We've got a soft-tired Gasly in front of us now. There's no point deploying through here because we're not going to get too far. And we're already behind them, so there's no pushing the tyres too hard. And, yeah, I mean, Gasly is going... Gasly, why defend, man? Come on, this is not your race. And then Tsunoda with DRS, hopefully, will be nice and simple down this straight. And then we've got 6 seconds in front of us we can drive into. So we did a 46.7 last, so we are 2 seconds faster than Sainz. Can we get that done? Not quite. That should be fairly comfortably done down this back straight, though. We'll deploy to make sure it's easily done. There it is. And Giovinazzi is on his way. Come on, Gio. He could win this. He really, really could. Alright, so Carlos Sainz has just come in the pit early for a medium tyre run, I would have thought. But anyway, got a yellow flag as well as we get the overtake done. Big crash. Is it going to be a safety car? Guan Yu Zhou. So nothing particularly has happened there, it looks like. Tsunoda, you may have noticed, is just being a little bit annoying. I couldn't quite get that all undone quick enough, to be honest. We'll just deploy and get him in the rear vision mirror. We've come out ahead of Sainz, but not maybe far enough. Although we're only 90% into our tyres. Did he put on a hard? He's put on a soft, so he's going to be quick, but it's got a long way to go on a soft. I mean, that maybe tells us Mick can go onto a soft. Mick is just currently behind no, I keep thinking that's Maldonado. Maloney and Porcher. We'll try and move him past them. Now, have we seen the back of Tsunoda? It looks like we may have. Alright, we are desperately trying to keep the Mercedes out of our DRS here, but it's not going to happen because we've drained the battery trying to do it, and I suspect out of this corner they are going to be right with us, and the DRS is going to pop open. So that being the case, we have to start and look and play the long game here. They're on soft tyres that are going to wear, so we just need to try and stay with them as long as possible. They will get us. It's fine. Feels like take it, isn't it? They're going to take it. But now we've just got to stay with them, and their tyres will wear. Because if we look at the wear rate, Perez is actually worse than us on a soft tyre. So he is putting in blistering lap times, as is Sainz, but they're churning through their tyres. Alright, so this is not great news. Perez just put in a push lap, a 44 to our 45, a second a lap faster, and we just didn't have anything to go with him. So now we've got to try again, stay with him as much as we possibly can, and hope that once he's sort of drained his battery or whatever he was using there, that we can pull him back in. It looks like we're able to do that so far. We're almost back within DRS. And, yeah, it'd be nice if we could sit behind him for a few laps, sort of back our tyres off a little bit, and or charge the battery, and put ourselves in a good position. But we have got ourselves back within DRS, so that's positive. That means we have more pace than him. I would, yeah, ideally like to not push these tyres so hard, though. So let's see if we can back off the tyres and still stay within DRS. Science is behind us as well, you can see. There he is there. So it's a Mercedes sandwich. If we go in front, we might even look to charge the battery, but we've not gone in front, so that's fine. Yeah, just stay there, Gio. It's fine. It's fine. Just don't hit anything, please. We need these points. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, this is annoying. Sainz has muscled his way past. We were battling with Perez in that last, sort of the chicane coming onto that straight, and then somehow he's mugged us off. So that's us back to third now with both Mercedes in front of us. Alright, so Carlos Sainz has put in back-to-back, like, blistering laps considering the stage of the race. I am wondering, we're kind of stuck behind Perez here. I'm wondering, A, if he has stored up his battery and just decided to go bang. Or, because Perez's tyres are the worst of the three of us. It might be... Oh, Mick's coming into the pits too. We're just going to stick a medium set on, and he can go the last 9 laps and have fun. 2.7. I tell you what, the pit stops are coming back for us, aren't they? Alright, I think we need to burn a bit of battery here, maybe burn a bit of tyre life. We need to get Perez. We need to get Perez because he's holding us up now and he's letting his teammate get away. So DRS here, then DRS down the back straight. One of those two should be enough for us to get past him. And come on, down the outside here. Then we can sort of put our eyes onto Sainz and trying to get back-to-back race wins. And it will, of course, be a sweep for Giovinazzi, wouldn't it? Sprint and Grand Prix proper. So I always wonder how sprint race wins are going to sort of look in history. So, like, Oscar Piastri obviously has technically won in Formula 1, but has he kind of thing? Like, I'd love to know if you asked him, and no, just not diminishing the achievement of winning a sprint race. It was brilliant. I love that Piastri won a sprint race last year. But he hasn't won... It's not a win, in, you know, like, compared to, like, so say a Senna win. It's not the same, is it? Like, it's just not. So, yeah, I do wonder a little bit how sprint race wins are going to be remembered historically. But, hopefully just their own category would be fair enough. But, yeah, here we go. We've completely dropped Perez here, so let's go harvest. And we'll try and stalk him. And then with 2 laps to go, like we did in the sprint race, we'll just deploy, push, and go and see if we can nick ourselves a race win. Although, again, Sainz looks like he's trying to take off again now, doesn't it? Oh no, we've got a virtual safety car. We've got a virtual safety car with, like, not long to go. It might finish on the virtual safety car. De Vries is the one, of course he is. And we were stalking him. We were stalking. Now there's 3 laps to go. Are we going to have time? And of course he's probably going to recharge his batteries now as well, isn't he?
Okay,
Alright, so there are 2 laps to go. The virtual safety car is about to end. And we are going full send, full push to the end to try and beat Carlos Sainz. Now, pretty much this time next lap, we do have a full battery as well. This time next lap, we will. That's it. Then DRS will more or less be done. And we saw in the sprint race, even if we have no battery coming off the last corner, we can just about hang on. Now, of course, we lost this Grand Prix by under a 1/10 of a second last season. We won the sprint race by just over a 1/10 of a second. It's going to be just about as close in the main event here. All right, here we go. Now, there's a part of me that thinks, are we better off not having the lead into the back straight for the final time? But here we go. Here we go. Final lap. We go up the inside. We're going to have DRS if he stays there. And that was a piece of genius driving by Giovinazzi. A competitor crash on the final lap. Now, what's happening with that? Sainz has crashed. Did we stick him in the wall? What's happened there? Nothing, basically. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully no penalties. But we're up the road, so we probably don't need to push now. We've got a second gap. We can still deploy. And we should be about to win our second race in a row. Apparently the Ferrari this year is not too bad. And we've beaten Red Bull more or less fair enough. We beat Verstappen in the sprint race. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with Russell. I mean, Verstappen was a little ways back, of course, but there was nothing wrong with his car. And yes, they've come back at us quite a bit, to be fair. But here we go. Antonio Giovinazzi is going to win the Baku Grand Prix. Back-to-back wins for Ferrari. And well done, Giovinazzi. I think that is his second or third career win as well. And Mick, well, it just wasn't meant to be for Mick. He didn't get any penalties, but he was crashed into twice. So it was that sort of weekend for him, wasn't it? So there we go. Giovinazzi, 25 points, wins the Grand Prix and, of course, the sprint race as well. And that moves him up to 4th in the drivers' standings. Only 4 points back of Verstappen. Such a shame for Mick, wasn't it? Surely he would have been on the podium himself, if not winning it. So that is a bit of a blow to his championship hopes. And you've got to say at this point, maybe they are championship hopes. The constructors, we lost out 10 points to Mercedes there, but that was as much as anything down to Mick getting taken out twice. And yeah, so that's fine. Third, I think, would keep us our job anyway, wouldn't it? So yeah, and we're not that far off Red Bull, truth be told. Now, did we get any pit points? No, we were better, but we weren't quite that good yet. So we'll live in hope of that changing. And the board are happy again. So excellent work. And of course, the disappointed will drop off after the next race. Now, the next race is, what's the next race? Is Miami. That's usually a bit of a crazy one. Now, one other thing I've meant to catch you up on, but forgot at the start, is this. Now, if we are going to do a 4th season, which time dependent, I'm not quite sure if we'll have time or not, but there is major regulation changes. It's a complete front wing overhaul. Now, this is where we need to get a little bit sneaky. If we think we're going to do a 4th season, we need to start researching. If we don't, then we can just go full force onto this season. But anyway, Mick is having a bit of issues with his engineer. That's fine. You guys will get over it, I'm sure. And guys, that is that. If you've enjoyed that, back-to-back wins. That's never happened to us before on this channel, has it? And yeah, exciting times. Take care.